my wife in the background?
No, we're good. We are live. Let me click on this. All right, we are live. How's everybody doing today? How are we doing? How are we feeling? Everybody out there in the chat. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Super Andrew, I see you. Dark Master, what's going on? We'll wait for everybody to kind of fill in here. This music is loud. Let me turn that down. We're just, most of the time when I'm doing these things, it's always a mess. It's always a mess, but regardless, appreciate y'all for stopping by. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Y'all are the greatest. Y'all are the best. So how's everybody doing in the chat? Mike Bates, I see you, my dude. How you been? How you feeling? How you living? I got the actual official music here. Off the rails as always. But regardless, we're here. We have a good show for you guys today. We have a fun show to do. We're going to talk about some fun topics. We're going to talk about, Yoshi's Crafted World maybe being leaked, Game Freak hiring people, Titanfall 3, East 9, all this stuff. We're going to talk about all this stuff. But I also have a guest with y'all today for Why YouTube, the homie PTK Blam. What's good, bruh? Let them know what's up.
What's going on with you, man? It's your boy Blam back in the building. First time on Nicktendo's podcast. This is fun. He's been on mine a couple times, so I appreciate you, bro, for inviting me on. We've been behind the scenes cooking this up for a couple weeks.
We have been.
Schedules ain't been working out, but it finally worked out today. By the way, chat, today is my B-Day, so if you say happy B-Day in the chat, appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. But he called me on my B-Day, so you guys are getting a special edition today. Yes. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so happy birthday to the homie.
Thank you.
And like he said, this has been a we've been going back and forth on this for real. Like,
yeah,
we're gonna talk about some. We've actually been pre-gaming, like for real, and we actually like went in on a topic or two that I am actually excited to talk about during Why YouTube. So let's go ahead and since we're just instead of just babbling, let's go ahead and get into the quick hitters if I can find the transition. Like I said, we are just off the rails today. Let's go. Oh yes, the quick hitter news. There you go. Y'all can see me. So we were talking about this a little bit. So, I mean, if y'all don't know what Star Citizen is, apparently Star Citizen was like a few years ago was supposed to be, according to a couple of my PC friends, that was supposed to be the game that was going to end all games. And it just kept kind of being in developer hell for a while. But apparently Chris Roberts, creator of Star Citizen Project, announced that his organization has secured $46 million in a private investment.
Got a bag. They got the bag.
So they got the bag. And so now the game is expected to actually officially release in summer of 2020.
Wow.
So there you guys have it. The game was actually, raised a ton of money. I don't know if anybody even cares. I feel like the hype is over. Much like, what was that one other Battle Royale game that came out? Was DayZ? Just like DayZ, DayZ, like I'm pretty sure people are just like, yo, like who really cares about this right now? I'm pretty sure the hype is done with it. Hold on a second. Can y'all even see me right now? Hold on a second. What is going on here? Hold on a second. This show's off the rails already. Boom, there we go. Now y'all can see me.
Nice.
So sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Clicked the wrong transition. So either way, y'all could hear me though. And so yeah, I don't think anybody really cared about Star Citizen at this point. I remember the hype about it. My buddy in PC was hyped about it, but it doesn't seem like it's a really hype game. Like it's just kind of over with. So speaking of games that are over with and not very hyped right now, Battlefield 5. We're gonna go ahead and just say Battlefield 5 right now is I wouldn't say it's a flop, but let me put it this way. When Battlefield 1 came out, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 came out, my friends list was full of people playing Battlefield 4 or 5 or 3 or 1.
That's true. You're not seeing a lot of people play it, but you got to think about when Battlefield 1 dropped. What did it benefit from? Call of Duty at that time had literally the most disliked video on YouTube. So Call of Duty was in the shitter. Nobody was trying to even think about Call of Duty. So Battlefield 1 came out, boom, perfect timing. We got World War II, planes, boots on the ground. That shit benefited the fuck out of Call of Duty tripping up. This time around, they could not benefit. It's a complete opposite. Call of Duty said, excuse me, get the fuck out of here. We're still big brother, still big thing on the block. Get out of here. And you see the difference between the two franchises as far as consistency, as far as Call of Duty is it's Call of Duty is still outselling everything besides like Red Dead currently. So it's still a monster. I didn't think it would be able to achieve it again because I thought Call of Duty literally was going by the wayside. But they've done a phenomenal job with Call of Duty. So I don't know. I got a couple people that still enjoy it that are playing it, but you're right. It did kind of fall off the rails pretty quickly.
I'm gonna have to say this was a flop. Because and the only reason why I say it's a flop is because one, it's not meeting EA's expectations. Let's start there. Not meeting EA's expectations.
So do they break glass and break glass in case of emergency and throw the battle royale early?
I don't know. It seems like they're already breaking glass and having retailers sell the game at 33 to 50% off. So that's not a good sign.
Already?
Yeah, already, dude. Already they have people selling this game for 33 to 50% off. So,
that's some Ubisoft stuff.
Scottish Meg Shark, what's up? This first time here live since I'm on my First time here live since I'm on my Christmas holiday for 2 weeks, so no early bed for me. Good, awesome, appreciate you, bro.
Hey, nice. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. Soul Eater, I see you. Dark Master says I just subscribed to your channel, PTK. So there you go, Blam. You got a sub right there.
Hey, I'm trying to hit 1,100 before the end of the year.
There
if
you
you guys are here and you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please shoot over there. Subscribe right now. Thank you guys so much.
So moving on to the next bit of quick hitter news, Halo Infinite. You know, I mean, who doesn't know the franchise of Halo at this point? Halo Infinite. Apparently, it is being developed with PC in mind by 343. This is not surprising to me. I feel like.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean? How are you taking that?
I'm taking it as this: that now that everything on Xbox and Microsoft is now Windows 10 and Xbox, and that now that Xbox is they're looking to make these rumored 3 different consoles that are coming out, the Anaconda and the Lockhart, and I can't remember what the middle one is, but apparently they're trying to make this new console on par with PC. What this spells out to me is that they're really going to try to utilize the power of this next console coming out and the PC, and they're gonna sort of, and I'm going to say that they consider this next console coming out on par with PC at this point. That's the way I'm looking at it.
So you're talking 3 different SKUs based on the information that came out earlier this week?
Yes. You remember the information came out with the Lockhart, which is going to be the stream one, and then the Anaconda, which is going to be like the grand poobah of all the consoles. Like, that's what I'm and so I'm putting 2 and 2 together here with 343 saying they're developing Halo Infinite with PC in mind, meaning that this is going to be the first one that's going to be on PC, and they're going to try to make it, powerful enough to be on PC and the Anaconda. I don't know what that means for the other 2 though. I don't know what that means for the other 2. Super Andrew says, just sub to you as well. So there you go. You got 2.
Thanks,
you're almost there.
You're
almost there.
You guys are amazing. I just said it in the chat right now. Thank you.
Skull Stomper. What's up, man? Appreciate you. And so I don't know, man, like, are you comfortable with Halo being on PC? Let me ask you that question.
I'm okay with it. It's not the first time. It was on the Halo CE was on PC. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Fair
Halo
enough.
CE was on PC. So, and that's a hollowed Halo. That's already like a classic Halo, and it was on PC. So people tend to forget. And I think that it's all Microsoft at the end of the day, guys. We know they want everything on everything, as many devices as possible, mobile included, because they're talking about the play anywhere aspect. The X-Play device, like you were saying, essentially that may be mobile or whatever the hell they can do with it essentially, but they want their game on as many devices as they can possibly get it on. So
100%. I agree with you on that one. I find it interesting. I'm with you on that. I don't mind it going to PC. I know there's a lot of Xbox purists that are like
exclusive.
Yeah, it's not exclusive, but I mean, come on. Microsoft owns it all. They could do whatever they want with it. It's no different than, I don't know, if Sony decided to put PlayStation Now on, or not PlayStation Now, but whatever that streaming consoles on their smart TVs, like they could do it if they wanted to. Let's be honest about that. They're not going to do that, but I'm just putting that up as a far-fetched example. So moving on, more Microsoft news. Microsoft is temporarily suspending, and this says ending, but this is more of a suspension at this point. The All Access program it opened up a few months back. The payment-driven purchasing option for their consoles and everything like that. They first launched this in August. The All Access bundles an Xbox One console, Xbox Live, and Xbox Game Pass for either $21.99 or $39.99 a month. and then different packages varied between the X and
that makes sense. I'm okay with that.
They're suspending this until 2019.
I think it's the messaging. You got to get it right, because there's a lot of people that are on both sides. Like, what is this? You know, it sounds great. I mean, if you look at it, it's pretty simple to understand as far as the whole financing option. Gives a lot of people who don't necessarily have the cash on hand, you know what I'm saying, as far as purchasing. But you got to get the messaging right. You can't come out and just say financing, let it be vague. Then you know what happens? The media takes that vagueness and they kind of play in that area. You got to come out, be clear, be confident about what this is going to do and the benefits people are going to get from the financing program. So you got to get the messaging right. I think that's the first thing, you know, and delaying it, I have no problem with it. As far as from that standpoint. So
yeah, I'm wondering what the numbers are on it. I didn't see much on like how many people actually took advantage of this. I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was cool. You know, people are out there saying, you know, it's funny, Xbox is putting consoles on layaway and ha 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 and stuff like that. They didn't really give us a fresh amount of numbers. So what this seems like, I gotta agree with you. It seems like maybe this just didn't hit as well as they thought it would. And now they got to kind of regroup and sort of figure out how to remarket it and put it back out, because that's what I think happened here. I didn't hear a whole lot about people taking advantage of this. Yeah. And so, you know, that'll be back out if you were interested in that or looking forward to that. More Microsoft news. Crackdown 3 single player gameplay finally emerged thanks to IGN. And me and you are kind of indifferent on this one. It looks to me, it looks cheesy. Jake and Bacon, what's up, bruh? To me, it looks huge. Like you can tell the scale of the map and everything. It looks big, but it also looks cheesy to me. And it looks, I was never a big fan of Crackdown to begin with, so that's my take from it. And so you were like, I could see that because you said it was more so,
in the Saints Row vein. If you look at it, open world, you look at Saints World is exaggerated. Everything is overblown. Everything is, you know, on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like definite as far as the way they portray the characters and the way the game was played. Like it's so outrageous, it's ridiculous. That is exactly what Crackdown is. If you're not into that, you weren't in the first two of them. All the outrageous isn't ridiculous. Why do you think they got Terry Crews to play like the main character? He's like the mascot. Like you don't get him to the mascot. Yeah, he's way over the top. I mean, come on now. Deodorant, Old Spice, you know what I'm saying? All kind of crazy stuff. So I think that if you weren't a fan of that, you may not be a fan of the game. I think it's gonna be in Game Pass, so a lot of people are gonna get to experience it. I think the multiplayer is gonna be fun. It's gonna be super arcadey. I think it's gonna be something that people are gonna jump on and play when they don't want to like take these things serious. Like when you're done with the Fortnites, you know, you're kind of tired of the PUBGs, the Call of Duties. You get burnt out being serious. You jump on that, you know, play a couple matches just to do some crazy shit and then get off. So,
100%. But I see it. I see it, dude. I really do. But I'm just. Let's put it this way. Thank God it's in Game Pass because I'll play it. If it wasn't in Game Pass, I probably wouldn't touch it. Let's be honest about that. But, you know, Game Pass changes the game with me. I get to try games that normally I wouldn't try. So Game Pass helps you out in that sense, in that way. So I will try it thanks to Game Pass. But, you know, there you go. So enough of the Microsoft news. Back to a little bit of EA news. So Respawn Entertainment, they put out a game called Titanfall 2. What was it, 2 years ago? At the same year that Battlefield 1 came out. And it didn't do so hot. It didn't do very well. The game was fun. It was a very, very good game. But it was just a weird release time. The campaign
was actually really good. The campaign was really good.
It was just like a weird release time for the game. And the game, you know, kind of just didn't hold a lot. It just didn't have any legs on it.
Well, for the first time, and it had done so well on the Xbox. The first one came out, it done phenomenal on the X. I think that is at like at least 5 million. The first Titanfall, I think so, like 5 million copies, which is damn good for a first go, you know, brand new franchise. It was just the mixed messaging going on with Respawn. You know, they didn't want to be exclusive, and that kind of rubbed people the wrong way. Then there was a lot of aspects of gameplay that they changed people didn't really necessarily like. Some of the animations were a little janky. A lot of little things that us Xbox gamers were critical of because we really got to play the first one and a lot of us loved it. we broke it down. A lot of us, I don't know if you were in a community at the time, but a lot of people that are fans of the first one really critical of the second.
Yeah,
so that's true. I think that was the problem. Yeah.
Let's see here. Maya Ryan says the problem with Xbox All Access is that it's only available at Microsoft stores. There's no Microsoft store within 500 miles of where I live. That could be a huge problem.
Yeah, that could be a problem as well.
Ryoko says, I need a reason to play my Xbox One. My nephew bought me a cute Xbox One controller. He also bought me a cute Yoshi wired Switch Pro controller. There's so many games on the Game Pass. What to play? I don't know. Try all of them.
just find whatever you like. Yeah.
But back to Respawn. So we're talking about Titanfall 2 not doing well. Apparently, Respawn is working on a Star Wars game called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We already knew that. They announced that at the E3 this year. It's supposed to be coming out in 2019, which is a different topic that I'm not going to talk about. I really wish EA would not be doing Star Wars games, but that's a different topic. But it seems to be that they are hiring for either Titanfall 3 or something related to Titanfall, because they have job openings open up. Let's see here. Senior technical animator, build and release manager, technical animator, senior network engineer, video effects artist for Titanfall. All these are all Titanfall job openings for Respawn Entertainment here. And then they have one for Star Wars, but whatever. But it seems like they're hiring for permanent Titanfall stuff here. So it seems to be either they're working for something Titanfall related or Titanfall 3. I
don't know.
Who knows?
Is there even the demand for another Titanfall?
It really doesn't seem like it. I figured they would have been all in on the Star Wars thing, because it seems like EA is really trying to milk Star Wars right now. But apparently they have something coming up for Titanfall, because they're hiring 4 significant positions for Titanfall 3. So who knows? I just thought that was interesting. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe we'll get something announced here pretty soon. Andrew says, I wish PlayStation Now had the library of Game Pass or games that Game Pass had, because if I had an Xbox, I would just do Game Pass. Well, Game Pass is pretty fun. Crazy Greek Dude says, every Best Buy has an MS section for PC. They need to convert those to stores with a store, turn every MS section in Best Buy into a full-fledged Microsoft store. That's actually a good idea, Crazy Greek Dude. That would help out. They could probably look into that. That's a good point.
They can do that. Yeah.
So on to, clicked on that picture, didn't want that picture to come up. On to a little bit of Sony news. Let's try to make these two a little bit quick. East 8. Hopefully you're done with East 8. East 8 came out on the Switch. It was a PlayStation game. Now there will be, see here, is an announcement for PC, not PC, why I say PC? Thus far, East 9, what is it called? Monstrum Nox, coming to PS4 next year. Only PS4 so far. So if you are a big fan of that franchise, and that franchise is a very, I'd say niche-ish sort of franchise, but coming to PlayStation 4, hopefully we can get a Switch release sometime soon. That would be nice too, but so far PS4, so look out for that. I found this news funny as well for Sony. I feel like this announcement, Marvel Spider-Man, this is the headline of the article, Marvel Spider-Man is the fastest selling superhero game of all time. I just feel like that is a stretch a little bit. like it's the fastest selling. That would be like me being like, Crackdown is the fastest selling Microsoft game that has a black bald headed guy in it. You know what I mean? Like,
very specific.
I feel like it's a very specific headline. I just thought it was hilarious, but regardless, the fastest selling superhero game of all time.
Well, that's not a high. Think about it. That's not a high. What bar? How high is that bar?
I mean, it's not very, but you have it there. We have Marvel Alliance.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's prestigious. I don't want to take anything away from it, but it was a great game. It benefited of being in the great spot with the Avengers coming up.
Oh yeah, Super Andrew. Super Andrew did just say free DLC for PS4 for the Tobey Maguire suit. I did see that. That was pretty dope. That people are gonna actually get to play with that Tobey Maguire suit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Pokemon creators Game Freak, Nintendo news here, sorry. Pokemon creators Game Freak has announced today on their official website they're currently recruiting for new team members for the year 2020. This is interesting to me because there was a game that they announced at E3, the last Direct in September. That was not Smash Direct, but an actual Nintendo Direct in September. They showed a game called Town that I have kept my eyes on and been paying attention to. You guys know, if you're on the channel, you know I have talked about this game called Town. It's a new, fresh looking RPG. I'm got my eyes out big time for that. And apparently, they're now announcing, they're hiring for members for 2020. So maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe it has something to do with Pokemon or another Pokemon Let's Go. We don't know, but Game Freak seems to be hiring. It seems like they're pretty busy nowadays with Pokemon Let's Go, and now they're dropping another generation this upcoming year, and they got Town coming out. Seems like Game Freak is busy. So hiring for people there. And then last news here, Yoshi's Crafted World. A game that I thought I wasn't going to be interested in, and after seeing it, now I'm interested in just because it looks cool to me anyway. It looks cool. The whole aspect of it, the way it looks, the colors, I'm going to play this game. And so we thought it was going to be maybe a March release, maybe sometime there, but it seems to be due to seeming, I can't even speak. But apparently, thanks to Amazon, there was a release date that was quote unquote leaked by Amazon. April 26th seems to be what Amazon thinks that the game Yoshi's Crafted World will be coming out. Salty's Gaming, what's good, my dude? Appreciate you for stopping by.
What's up, Salty?
Let's see here. So Yoshi's Crafted World, if y'all are interested in that, which I'm very interested, April 26th. I just find that interesting. Amazon out here leaking games, for everybody.
Yeah.
So
got a mole in the house.
Yes, got a mole, and its name is Amazon. So that will do it for the quick hitters. And let's see who's all in the chat. Salty says, "Hey PTK, what's up?"
Salty.
Andrew says, "Did you mean Woolly World 1.5? You need to chill, Andrew. You need to chill, my dude, and and put some respect on it." It's not Woolly World 1.5. It's Crafted World, and it's going to be dope. It's going to be awesome. And I can't see what's happening in the chat because I accidentally refreshed the screen there. So once it loads up, I'll know what you guys were saying in the chat. Because like I said, this stream is all over the place. So let's just go ahead and get into why YouTube. And I'll give up. You know what I'll do for why YouTube? We'll just hit this big show transition. Boom. All right. So, as I mentioned, I got this homie with me, name PTK. He is, I met PTK. The first time I met him was who was on here the last episode we did, called Mr. Boomstick. Yeah. He was on here 2 weeks ago, and that is how I met you. We were doing Breakfast with Boom, and we were talking about a lot of things, but he had me on there specifically for a few Nintendo topics. Yeah. And so ever since then, you were like, "Hey man, you want to come on the podcast?" I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really expect, anybody to reach out to me. You were like, "Bro, you want to be on the podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it, man." And so been on the podcast a few times, trying to get you on this for a little bit.
Yes,
so finally, we're here. So welcome everybody. Why YouTube? This is what we do. We just talk about YouTube and content creating and whatnot. This is what we do. I love it. This is probably my favorite segment that I do every week because it is fun to talk about being a content creator on YouTube, and I want to give people some insight to what it's like, because people, when you think that we're sitting in front of this camera, like me, I'm sitting in front of this camera, I'm talking, and everybody thinks, "Oh man, it's all good, it's easy, it's fun." It looks like you're having a lot of fun. It looks easy. I want to try. I want to do this. So, and people, there's a lot of, I feel like as a YouTuber, there's a lot of pressure put on you to do content all the time, right? And so, and sometimes I can get to you, or sometimes YouTube's algorithm can really make you mad. Sometimes not getting enough subscribers can really peeve you off, doing this and that. So we're going to talk about all of that today. So let me just ask you, bro, real quick. I just hit my TV. Oops. Real quick. Why YouTube, bro? Why did you start a YouTube channel? Why did you do it? What are you doing? Like, why?
It was something that I always wanted to get into. I had been watching YouTube for forever, and I always wanted to get into it. And right around 2013, the beginning of the generation, you know how the start got off for Xbox. We're not going to revisit that. we know what happened around that time. It was a bomb drop. Oh yeah, a whole stink bomb. Yeah, dropped it. So around the time, and I was looking for a different opinion because everybody was jumping on Xbox saying this and this and that. I'm like, wait, I have a different thought pattern than that. So at the time I was getting my information from the IGNs, the GameSpots, the usual suspects, where everybody got their gaming news at the time. So I'm hearing the same thing from everybody. So I looked on YouTube trying to just find somebody with a different opinion. And shout out to Z. Zaire, he was like one of the first people I saw. Nicktendo, I'm sure you know who that is.
Yep.
Yeah. So he was one of the first people I saw, and that kind of helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, then I found Crap, then I found a couple other people since then, and it kind of snowballed. And then the funny thing about that whole starting the channel is that I already had Mooch, shout out to Mooch, on my friend list before I even knew he was on the podcast with like Next Gen. And I realized it afterwards. I'm like, dude, I play with you all the time. I didn't realize you actually wanted the show. So me and him, had go back and forth about starting the channel. And then me and him legitimately started our channels the same weekend. And it was just history from there, man. Been doing this thing for like 3 years now, I think. Going on 4. This coming, it'll be, I think, August. Next August will be 4. So I love it though, man. I love it.
So Ryko in the chat says, I love Salty. I was thinking of making a channel and becoming a devoted follower. I shall name my channel Butthurt Gaming, and I shall always be honest and be true to the salt. Wow. Okay.
Got a loyal one.
I love it. I love it. So you were friends with Mooch. You started your channel because you were, and it's funny that you say that because I remember talking to homie Dealer Gaming, and he said something very similar to you. He was like, this Xbox narrative right now is crazy. Like, Xbox is getting killed right now, and for no real huge reason. I mean, there was a lot of reasons they got killed, and rightfully so, but there's a lot of good in what they were doing at the same time. And it's funny that you said that because I know that Dealer Gaming, I talked to him one time, and he had said something very similar, and that's why he started doing his stuff. And he's just been growing and growing ever since. So you start your channel, you get on here. So you do just news content on YouTube, and then you do the podcast on Saturdays. Let's talk about that real quick, because your panel is pretty fresh. I'm not gonna lie. When you get Zalker on there is dope. Fuzzy's pretty dope. Fuzzy's a good dude. Like, you got a pretty cool like panel. So how did that all come together? How did you meet these dudes? Like, how did it all come to be?
It's crazy because my podcast has gone through probably about 5 or 6 different like versions, different people. You know what I'm saying? And if you really go, I want you guys to do this. If you guys in the chat right now, go check the history of my channel. Go back. You'd be surprised you see years ago who's been on my podcast. You're like, what the heck? This guy, that guy, and there's a lot of people who've been on the show for real. Like, it's honest. Shout out to everybody who came through early and who showed support. Like, Aaron Greenberg was on my very first podcast.
Whoa.
On my very, very first one. So I had Tim on there, and that was crazy because Aaron DM'd me and said, hey, how do I get in your show? I'm like, what the heck? Like, what do you mean? How do you? He's like, yeah, send me a link. And so I sent him the link, and he actually came. That's nice. It was pretty dope. Yeah, very first show on the channel, just right off the rip. So just as far as meeting them, Fuzzy's been amazing. He's always been a supporter. Jarhead is kind of a silent. He's been on the show off and on. He's been off a lot recently. Just had a baby recently, so shout out to him. And Zalker's crazy because he's the next, like, for real, the next guy. Like, I can see Zalker is gonna be that. Yeah, like
Zalker. I don't know if I said this after the last podcast I was on. I don't know if I said it. I thought it, but I didn't say it. Yeah. Zalker's an animal.
Yeah.
That dude had he had a lot of knowledge, and he knew what he was talking about, and he brought it. And there's a lot, like, when I get in podcasts, like, there's not a whole lot of times, like, whenever I like just sit back and listen to somebody talk and be like, I'm going to soak this information up.
Yeah.
He was one of those dudes in that podcast, and I was like, oh man, this dude knows what he's talking about. That dude is a monster for real. And I know he recently started this channel not too long ago, but yeah, that dude is he's yeah, you're right about that.
He's amazing. And they're all unique, and they all offer a different perspective. Fuzzy is quiet, super knowledgeable. Fuzzy is a little bit older, but he's super knowledgeable, super fun. He's neutral as probably as can be, as a gamer as you'll find as far as that goes. He does prefer Xbox, but he gives everything a fair shot. Jarhead is the engine. Jarhead is our Draymond Green.
The Draymond Green.
Like the Draymond Green of the Shop podcast.
You gotta now you gotta introduce him like that the next podcast.
Yeah.
The Draymond Green.
When he comes back on, I will introduce him as that. Shout out to Jarhead if you listen.
Yeah, the Draymond Green of the podcast.
He's the heart and soul behind the podcast. You don't take no crap from nobody, man. I don't promote a whole lot of the back and forth, the console war stuff. You don't see that on my channel ever. But anytime somebody decides he's the first one to take the smoke. First one. So it's amazing. I got a great group of guys.
You know what, man? I'm going to start bringing that energy to the Saltiest podcast. I'm going to start being the Draymond Green of the Saltiest podcast from here on out. Titan Drago might be this Draymond Green, to be for real, though. Because Drago says some off the wall stuff. And he don't care. But I may have to try to take that title. You know what? I'll be the Klay Thompson. How about that? I'll be the Klay Thompson, all right? I'll be in the corner hitting the clutch threes. I'll be the Klay Thompson. I'll let Drago keep the Draymond Green. But that's still hilarious.
Yeah.
It's still hilarious. So, you got the panel, you got the podcast.
Yeah.
So, when you do news, when you go, are you just looking for just the fresh news, or are you only going to do stuff that? Because here's one thing that I found from personal experience is this. One, when I just do news to do news, I hate it. I'm going to be honest with you. So, like, if a news story comes up, I'm like, ooh, that's going to get clicks, and I do that, I don't like it. If I find a news story that I absolutely like and like, because most of the time I don't talk about, like, if you watch these daily streams, like, I only do news that I like, and most of the time it's the same news over and over and over and over again. But it's because I like it, right? My channel, I do what I want. But so whenever you go to do news stories, like, are you just finding topics that are trendy and putting your own spin in it, or are you only picking like what you like? Like, what do you do when you do that, or even picking topics for the podcast?
Well, you know what? My process really is, I'm exactly the same as you, bro. I cannot stand it because let's be honest, there's a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of people doing the same type of shows we're doing. We're not the first person to invent the wheel. So there's a lot of people, a lot of news. There's 5 podcasts a day. You can go get the same thing from generally. We're going to all be talking about the same thing. So you look at it from that perspective, I always try and do different things. I don't know if you notice on the podcast, I always like to throw in curveball kind of questions that, and even if you go back and look a lot of my weekly videos, those aren't topics that are like relevant right at that point. A lot of them are just things I've thought about, and maybe me and somebody have talked about in an Xbox Live chat or in the DMs on Twitter. We've had a conversation, and I'm like, you know what, that would be a fun video. You know what I'm saying? I think I go based off how I'm going to enjoy the video. If it's going to be fun to do, I'll do the video. If the news is going to be fun and it interests me, I'll do the video. Even if it's news that's like just, everybody knows about it, I'll still do it if it's interesting enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I go about it, man. I don't really care, about the norm. A lot of times if you look at the podcast questions, you can even watch. Sometimes they're way left field. Like, I don't even know if you've seen this, but one time on the show I posed a question like, what's your, gaming Mount Rushmore? That kind of cool stuff that like gets people thinking and talking about video games. Like that's not that's a very random question, but it's something that we can all have fun with. If the chat can have fun with it, we can have fun with it on the show. It's just things like that.
100%. Scottish said something. This will definitely lead us to the next topic because this is going to be the meat and potatoes that we wanted to talk about. Scottish says a lot of YouTubers just talk everything trending, which gets them clicks. That is a perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about next, because we were talking about this pregame, and we're going to go ahead and talk about it now. So It's funny that you say that, Scottish, because it seems to be that's not the case in YouTube currently right now. So we were talking about this. I've been watching. I have plenty of friends in the community. I have Salty, I have Avidan, I have bigger YouTubers that I follow, Player Essence, Spawn Wave, RGT85. I have people with 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers, Smashed ATs, Your Player 2s. I know different YouTubers from all shapes and sizes, right? And we were talking about this pregame because it seems to be whatever YouTube is doing with their algorithm, I'm done trying to figure it out. Whatever YouTube wants to do or whatever they're doing, it doesn't seem to be benefiting. It doesn't seem to be benefiting or helping out smaller channels. Let's just be real with it and be honest with it. I have noticed there are certain 10,000 subscriber YouTubers who are only getting 50 views to 100 views per video. And you think with somebody with that big of subscriber count, like they'd be getting more, right? And then you have people with maybe, 30, 20, just depending on, the size or whatever, like their views can vary. The views seem very off, right? The views don't seem to be coming in as well as they should. And we were talking about this pregame. That's a struggle for people who are currently on YouTube. Yes. People who are currently grinding away. People are currently grinding and working harder and working harder and working harder. It just seems like things have come to a screeching halt the last 6 months of this year, personally, because I was seeing growth. This is me personally. I was seeing growth, and then all of a sudden, boom! Sometime around July, August, it stopped. Right. And so it just seems to be something going on. And so as YouTubers, how do we deal with that? As YouTubers, how are we dealing with that? What are we doing? What do we think is going on? You had something interesting that you were saying. I'll let you take over for this one.
So I'll answer both questions. So first off, as far as how I think, the way YouTube is going, it's very interesting to see, because I don't know if you guys remember, I was watching YouTube back. I was watching at the public library back in like 2005, 2006, early YouTube. And it was content driven at that point, by the creator, for the creator. YouTube is now ad driven, it's market driven. So you got a lot of big companies that come in, the Walmarts, even, the Microsofts, the Sonys. They take a lot of that money they have in their coffers, and they say, here you go, YouTube. Now we're going to go ahead and control the narrative. They're getting people, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of people are getting all these ridiculous, crazy copyright strikes. All these types of things are happening based on content creation and what you're doing. There are YouTubers that are getting strikes for saying damn on their video. All kind of ridiculousness that's going on. But for the smaller YouTubers, Nick, you know how it is as far as the grind goes. You see the numbers going up, they're kind of trickling up, and you get excited. You know what the grind feels like, especially when you're smaller. That's amplified. What I was just talking about is amplified when you're smaller YouTubers like me and Nick are hanging out around 1,000 subs right now currently. So it almost feels like, man, what am I missing? You know what I'm saying? It almost feels like you're missing out on something. Right. And you have to fight that feeling, because generally you're really not. And it's kind of, that's the hardest part for me, is fighting that. It's feeling like, I'm missing out, or there's some information I don't know about, and I start to overthink my channel, and I start to, I need to revamp this. And you kind of get in your own head. So you got to fight that. That's hard. That's tough.
Right. Double Barrel Gaming. Boomstick is in the house. What's good, my dude?
What's up, man?
We are currently talking about how we noticed that YouTube has sort of shifted and changed, and we're noticing different, certain YouTubers and small YouTubers are pretty much staying around the same. People with 10K subs are getting 50 to 100 views a video, and people with 1,000 subs are kind of doing the same. It's kind of people below a certain spot are kind of staying in the same thing. And we're just discussing, how do we deal with that as small YouTubers, because you hear this all the time, right? You hear constantly, be consistent, put out daily content. Let's be real. Come on, man. Let's be real. People my age, 30, people, who have kids, married, have responsibilities to do. Let's be real. Doing daily content especially edited content, is a grind in itself. How much time do you want to spend away from your family, from your life? Like,
it's the sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice you got to make. Yeah. But like, how do you want to do that? You know what I mean? My buddy Avidan was saying something. He was saying like, look, I want to figure out a way to just be like Video Game Donkey, where you can just make one video every so many weeks or month, and it hits. Like, he wants to be like that, because that's how Video Game Donkey is currently. Like, that dude just makes a video and it's all of a sudden, boom, it blows up. You know what I mean? So you're like, so it's just like, what do we need to do? That's my thing. Just like I said, when you are someone around my age and you have kids, you got responsibilities to do. It's hard enough if you're doing a podcast, then get 3 to 5 other adults to do a podcast with you who have kids and the same responsibilities that you do. Ask Salty, ask you. It is nuts to try to get that together. You know what I mean?
It's not.
It can be complete pandemonium. So they say, well, if you make daily content, your channel will grow. Okay, I get that. That's easy to say for somebody who has a lot of free time. For people who don't have a lot of free time, it's tough, right? This is just a little bit of reality to look into. People like ourselves, people that are watching, like it can be tough to do that. 2, it seems like subscriber count doesn't even matter anymore. If you think about it, which is crazy. It does, but this goes back to what Scottish just said when he said people are chasing trends, because what they want is they want those clicks and views. They want their video to hit, right? And then
viral.
And it goes viral, and then boom, all of a sudden, boom, now you got the subscriber count. Now you have the following. My buddy, I'll just use him as an example. This isn't talking trash. But I've seen people like my buddy Smash JT. He had a video that did well, and it seems like, and this is just, he went from having 5 to 5.7 to 6 point something subs due to this video doing very well, and it did really well. But you know what I mean? It seems like, and he just did it and it happened to happen. He's not really chasing trends. He's still making the same old videos he does. But there are some YouTubers out there that will do that to see that success. And so that's all I'm really saying. It just seems, to what Scott has said, YouTubers are chasing trends. Well, you blame them if they really want the channel to grow, or you could just keep doing the same grind over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And seem like to pound your head against the wall. It's like, what do you do? You know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely not an exact science, and I want to be fair to everybody here. There's no right or wrong way to do YouTube. So when you first start a channel, that is
the best quote of. But say that one more time. That is the best quote of this podcast.
There's no right or wrong way to do YouTube. Okay, there's no manual saying this is the proper way to do YouTube. One thing I've noticed about everybody out there, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when you become a content creator on YouTube and you get consistent with it, you start digging for information, trying to see how do you get to that next level. Sometimes you start pulling back the curtain as to what's going on with YouTube. But if you notice, a lot of these big, large YouTube channels, they'll sell their hustle, because they found a way to monetize their grind, and they'll put it out there like, hey, we got a class, there's a course, there's a book, a video, a DVD you can buy to kind of show you what we did.
YouTube.
And what I found is that every single one of them is like the same 5 steps. It's the same, essentially, like you can split it up and rename it, but it's essentially to the core, it's the same 5 things. And you're like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But it's weird. It's so tough as a small YouTube creator. But the fun thing about it is that I'm in a space right now where I'm doing it for my creativity. I'm a very creative person, and I have so much fun doing it. And that's where I'm at currently with it. I do have a goal. There's a path that I am on, but creativity right now, just getting it out, because I'm a creative person, is what I care about. Yeah.
And that is exactly where it is right now. And Salty just said it in the chat. I think you have to worry about making videos, not getting subs. Same
exactly.
Reviews.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like I said before, when I asked you, when you do news, do you do news that you like to do, or do you do news that's trending? Do you do videos that you like to do, or do you do videos that trending? Yes, there is a very toxic-ish It's not even ish. There's a very toxic side to YouTube, right? There's a very toxic, if you are just over the top, over the line, negative, this and that, going after people, this and that, people will sub to that because that's one thing that attracts people. But then you get stuck in that realm, right? And then, you know, there are other people who, there's another side of YouTube. But as long as you stay true to yourself, I tend to believe that people will see that. I tend to believe that people will, you know, be attracted to your channel, and they will come and wave to your channel. That's my personal belief. That's why I do what I've been doing. I love, like, I used to do creative content all the time, right? I would get home from work, in an hour doing a voiceover, editing, clipping the video. Not even. And what killed me was, and this is why I stopped doing what I was doing and started doing live streams and exclusively live streams for this one reason. I would get home, and you can ask Salty about this. Me and Salty used to play games together all the time. As soon as I started a YouTube channel, I would get home from work because I used to work evening shift. I would get home from work, get home, talk about news, do the voiceover, edit the video, clip it, be done, upload it to YouTube. And then not and it's scheduled to release the next day in the morning, because I didn't want to release it at night, because, you know, it depends on when you hit. Then I would schedule to release the next day in the morning, and then I would have like an hour to play games before I had to go back to bed. And that got old real quick, and I felt like I had to do that over and over and over and over and over again to get the views and to get the subs and to be consistent. And if you go back and watch my old news videos, I sound sort of bored, and I just sound kind of like not into it. This is why I go live, everybody in the chat. This is what I love doing 100%. Like, this is what I love doing. This is what I enjoy doing. Like, so, like, you know, people like Rocco, they keep coming back. Chris Levi, he's a Patreon. Salty the homie, Boomstick. We talked about this the last time he was on here. Going live just seems to be a lot more fun. That's why I do it the way I do it. And so we had this whole long conversation and we kind of went around the long way, but to get to this point that we've talked about the last time, every time we do Why YouTube, which is do what you want to do, make the content you want to make, reach out to different YouTubers. I've never met a YouTuber, there might be some out there, but I have not met a YouTuber in this community that will not lift another YouTuber up and help them out. I've not met that person yet. There could be those people out there, no doubt about it. There could always be that dude that's like, no, I'd rather climb this by stepping on the backs and the shoulders of other people. I'm sure there are those dudes out there, but me, I've been fortunate enough that every YouTuber that I have met in this community, Nintendo, Xbox, I was gonna say PlayStation, but I don't know a lot of dudes in the PlayStation community for reasons that I don't want to talk about, but Xbox and Nintendo, I have not met a person in the community on YouTube that is not, when you reach out to them and say, hey, what's up, they have not said what's up back. If you ask them for questions, they don't come back. If you need encouragement, they have not failed to encourage, you know, you personally. There's multiple ones. The homie Salty, the homie Smash AT, the homie Avidan, Your Player 2, Boomstick. Like, there are tons of YouTubers out there that are great. And that's really all I want to say. And so, coming back full circle, do what you want to do, make the content you want to make, yada yada yada. So we kind of went over that one. So let me just ask you this real quick before we get out of here, because we kind of ran over a little bit longer than normally I like to, but that's just how these tend to go, because
I'm used to that.
when YouTubers talk about making YouTube, this is what happens. They go on and on and on and on about their struggles, which is why I do this, because it's always fun. But let's just talk here, because you said that you always do a question like, what's your Mount Rushmore? So real quick, I'm gonna make this quick. Favorite big YouTuber, some of your favorite smaller YouTubers. Go.
Crap. Jesus Christ.
On the spot. Does
it have to be related to games or just in general? It don't matter.
It could be general. It don't matter. It doesn't have to be gaming. It could be just who's your favorite big YouTuber. It could be Jake Paul for all I care. I would laugh at you, but it could be Jake Paul.
No, you're gonna be surprised. It's actually these people called Deer Meat for Dinner. It's actually 100.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually hunting. Me and my wife are super duper into hunting and stuff, fishing and all that.
Yo, you know what the crazy part is? Like, I used to be into hunting. My dad used to hunt all the time. I don't. That's funny, dude. I used to actually deer hunt and turkey hunt, all sorts of stuff like that, growing up. And then I turned 17 and got a car, and that ended that real quick because I could actually leave my house and go hang out with my friends. And so that ended the whole deer and turkey hunting. That's crazy. So what's the channel again?
It's called Deer Meat for Dinner.
Deer Meat for Dinner. I love that name. That's actually a pretty great name.
There's a bunch of them, man. There's a ton of them that we like. Paul Faro, there's all these other people. He's like a pond guy or whatever. He does fishing. But then there's other gamers like I watch a lot of Z-Pocalypse. He plays. I'm a big Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 fan. I play it a lot with my wife and kids all the time. A lot of times you see that's what's on my Xbox during the day a lot. So I'm a huge fan of him, Z-Pocalypse. My son watches. There's a bunch of like Overwatch YouTubers as well that I kind of watch off and on. Then I've been really lately. Funny thing is, my son, he's an artist. He draws a lot, like stacks and stacks of papers everywhere in his room. And I've been into like all of these artists that draw like anime, like they're just designers. They're artists, and they just draw Dragon Ball Z, and they freehanded and they colored it. It's so dope, bro. Like I've been just watching that like nonstop for the last like week and a half. Every time I get a chance.
There's a dude that he comes through quite a bit. Good dude, Otero Studios. He does similar stuff like that. He's a small channel, but he does a lot of drawings and stuff, and like sort of time lapses them. And it's pretty dope. He does that stuff too. So smaller YouTubers in the community. I know you don't want to put anybody on the spot because because people are like, I don't want to make anybody mad. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But cool. Who you got? Who would be your starting lineup? You got to squad up. You got to go against a bunch of Sony ponies that want to come at y'all. Who's your top 5?
Okay. So I'm gonna be running a point because I feel like I could distribute the best.
All right, let's start with this. Who's gonna be the big man down low?
If I'm dealing with ponies, I'm probably gonna get the albino rhino, the guy Crap Gamer.
Okay.
If I'm bringing out the heavy artillery.
All right.
Right off the bat. So and then we got. Ooh man. I gotta have you. You a 5'2" guy. You the most legitimate Nintendo guy I've ever spoken with on YouTube thus far, so you got to have you in the lineup just in case Nintendo wants to smoke.
Okay. All right.
I
was expecting that. I was expecting to be more of the reserve, but it's all good. It's all good. If I'm called upon, I'll hop in there. I'll be the wing. Yeah,
we got you. And then ooh man, there's so many good people. I'm gonna shout out my boy, the Iron Lords. I wouldn't say any of them specifically, but the entire podcast is one of my favorite ones to watch. I watch it probably, besides my own and a couple other people, it's probably the most consistently. Iron Lords.
So are good dudes.
Iron Lords. Who else?
You say King, bro. I would get King with me.
Yeah, King is crazy.
Got to be the power forward, dog. King has to be the power forward.
He that throwback power forward with that Daryl Dawkins.
Yeah, there you go. And then Daryl Dawkins of the YouTube.
Yeah. Don't King go hit me with it. King. If you see this, G, I love you, bro. You know you my guy. No, but it's so many people. It's hard to really. There's so many good podcasts out there, like Dealer, like Salty, and Boom, and oh man, so many good people, man.
I mean, it's hard. It's a lot, bro. I know you Xbox community, especially you, Mooch, Crap, Salty,
Mooch, Crap, everybody,
Dealer.
man.
You can just go on and on. Zaire, Next Gen, like you can just keep going on and on and on and on. That so.
Shout out to Showstop. I don't know if you heard about. We got this podcast starting up. You saw that as well on Twitter.
Colt Eastwood, Chris Levi just said one there. Colt Eastwood.
There's another one. Shout out to Colt too. But yeah, we got Bust Your Gun podcast starting up, man. I think this week. I think it airs Sunday, but we got a lot of things lined up, bro. So Showstopper started a podcast, and I'm on it. Got a couple other people as well, so you guys got to check us out as well.
Sick. All right, so we are a gaming channel, me and you both. So let's just end this one with gaming. And normally I ask what's your greatest game of all time. That's really hard because times change.
That's not hard. What are you talking about?
Okay,
That's easy.
it's hard for me. My time changes all the time. But what about you? What do you got?
Zelda Ocarina of Time. What are you talking about?
Yo, funny. Oh, and Scottish said another one. Rand. We forgot about Rand. That's another beat. Right. Rand. You can just keep going on and on. So you said Ocarina of Time. I'll take your Ocarina of Time and I'll raise you Breath of the Wild.
Don't start with me, man.
I will take your Ocarina of Time and raise you Breath of the Wild. Sorry. In my opinion, Breath of the Wild bodied that game. I know people have it's got a place in everybody's heart because of what it was.
Don't do that. No.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Nah, man. No. Breath of the Wild bodied that game.
Stop it. See, you know what? That's that recency bias.
It's not recency bias. That's not recency bias. I'm just letting y'all know that game just bodied Ocarina of Time. I said it. I don't care what y'all think. Anyway, so game you're most looking forward to next year. And I know it's early because there's a lot of early games coming out, right? And it could be some later. But so far, quarter 3 and quarter 4 fiscal year, what games are you looking forward to?
Is Outer Worlds next year?
What?
Is Outer Worlds 2019?
I think that's just like a placeholder. I don't think it's actually coming though.
Okay. Shit. Okay. If it's not Outer Worlds, then we're not even gonna include that. So my top one will be Anthem.
Okay.
That will be one. Just because that game is turning into something that I didn't think it could turn into, and agreed. I didn't realize it until I read. Yeah, I had to. I've been binge watching streams of Anthem, and every time I see a new one, yeah. So the Anthem number one. Surprisingly, probably not even Crackdown, not Crackdown, but Rage 2.
Okay,
as well as probably
okay. That's what I didn't expect to hear. Rage 2.
Rage 2, yeah, Rage 2 definitely, and then probably Gears 5. Yeah, number 2, Gears 5.
So no Division, no Kingdom Hearts.
You know what? Kingdom Hearts, no, not so much. Division, you know what? The Division is tough because it looks so good, and I was one of the few that stuck around.
But you got the stink of that first one.
Exactly, and then Anthem, and then you got Rage. Like I may not have the time, you know what I'm saying, like to give to the Division 2. Because if Anthem is what I think it is, I'm probably not going to dedicate anything. So Anthem comes out February, Rage comes out in May. So between that time until Rage comes out, it's going to be all Anthem. So
yeah, I hear you on that. For me, it's going to be tough because there's a lot of Nintendo, and a lot of Xbox.
That's true. That's true.
Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, that's coming out. Kingdom Hearts 3, that's coming out. Anthem, that's coming out. Yoshi's Woolly World, that's coming out. Jump Force, that's coming out.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh my god!
like you know what I mean? Like you start naming these games.
Exodus as well, I forgot Metro
Exodus, that's coming out. Like you just keep start naming these games off, and you're like, this is going to be very hard to start picking games to play. Not to mention Smash came out, and I'm still going to be playing that. There's still going to be the games that you normally play that are still going to be out. Like it's going to be tough this year. It's going to be tough this coming year, dude. Break my wallet. I'm already broke, but my wallet's going to be more broken, dude. Like it's going to be
throw it in the trash.
Nuts. So anyway, y'all, that'll do it for the show. I appreciate everybody for stopping by and sticking around for Why YouTube. This one was fun, homie. PTK, bro, thanks a lot for doing this. No problem. Really do appreciate it, dude. Like I said, we've been trying to get this one going, trying to get this one popping. I don't know who's gonna be on the next one because we got holidays coming up, and who's gonna show up next Thursday. So we're gonna take a break from doing the traditional live stream start the week on the channel. So there won't be Nicktendo Direct now for next week. There may be some sneak ones. Maybe it'll be just a regular live stream, me hanging out, like we do stuff like that. But as far as Nicktendo Direct now, there won't be Nicktendo Direct now next week. We're gonna take a break. There will be live streams though playing. I'm doing a 12-hour stream on Twitch. That will be happening. I will be doing streams on YouTube as well. I'll be going back and forth between the two. I might do something for y'all Sunday. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll just hang out, have a little recap of everything. Who knows? But we will be doing that as well. So like I said, appreciate y'all for stopping by, PTK. Real quick, just let the people know what you got planned going forward, all this stuff, and plug your stuff. I am a terrible host because I forgot to plug your channel on the description box. So let me.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. The edit button on YouTube for a reason. No, 100%. But thank you guys for showing up, man. Once again, thank you, Nick, for inviting me, man. It's been a couple weeks. We trying to get this thing going. Finally got it going. Thank you guys for stopping as well. Thank you guys for subscribing. So once again, if you still lingering here, I'm trying to hit 1,100 subs. So help your boy out. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe. Like all the videos. I got a huge archive of videos. Podcasts go back probably 2-3 years. You'd be really surprised at some of the people you're going to see on those podcasts. So go back, check the archive, like the videos as well. Follow me on Twitter. It's actually my first and last name, DARNEREDDICK all together. On Twitter. Follow me there for updates, news, whatever's going on the channel. Oh, shout out Bust Your Gun podcast as well. Follow me on Twitter to figure out more about that. We're gonna be starting that up, and that's for Showstopper running the show there. So, oh yeah.
Doing here. I don't got.
What are you doing?
Right. I don't even got my music right. Normally I pick Undertale.
He said push that link and the sub is coming. So I'm gonna have to. I don't know if you want to throw the link in the description below. And
Hold on, I got it.
Yeah.
I got you, bro. I really just want to get this music right. There we go.
Terrible.
I always end this with what's that show? What's that game I just talked about? Undertale. One of my favorite games that recently I played. And so it gets me hyped. So now I got the music. All right, Crazy Greek Dude. Link right there in the chat. Appreciate y'all.
Whoa, push that link. Yeah, we're one away. We got 1,000.
One away. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, Captain. As a matter of fact, we'll wait for it to happen now. Come on, let's go. Let's make it happen, bruh. Click that link. Make it happen. Let us know that it happened. And sub, all that stuff. Let's go. Let's make it happen right now.
You crazy. Hold on, I gotta keep refreshing.
I know you gotta keep refreshing. Let's make it happen. Link
right there. Man.
Nobody, anybody, everybody.
We'll see. I ain't worried about it right now. It's close though. It's close.
I know. Let's close it out though. I'm feeling as soon as we do, it'll close out. So,
yeah,
the homie Nicktendo Direct.
Oh, there it is. It just hit right now.
Boom! Homie hit it. There we go. And with that being said, we out this thing. I appreciate all y'all, man. This is great. Peace out.
Amazing. Thank you guys.